Top of the morning to you, gang. Oh, wait, hold up. We can't start the show. We can't start the show until, all right. Yeah, now we're good. Now we're ready. All right, gang, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Cadillac, where we talk. Man, hold up. Hold up. A little bit more. Yeah, I think that's perfect. All right, welcome back to the show, gang. Top of the morning to you, baby. This is the Cadillac, where your boy JR makes himself vulnerable with regards to mental health, his journey with his content creation, as well as, give me a second, I'm up too high. Yeah, I like it better. Welcome back to the show, baby. It's your boy JR in the Cadillac, making himself vulnerable with regards to his mental health and what else? My journey on my channel, and this is a little show where I like to call Coffee and Sunshine with JR in the morning, where I make myself vulnerable. I don't make myself vulnerable, I just share it to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Just share it. Just be me. You know what I mean? Where I be my authentic. I mean, not that I don't be my authentic, like on my shoots and on my live streams, but this is just kind of where I just kind of like be me. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, today I want to talk a little bit about my dad. This whole week, starting today, we're going to be talking about my dad a little bit, just sharing with him in honor of Father's Day coming up. I thought it'd be a cool opportunity to just share about my dad. So today we're going to be giving one of my very first memories about my dad is that my dad took me fishing for the very first time ever in my life. And probably only one of two times. So, I don't know. I probably must have been like about 7 or 8. I don't think I was 9 yet. I was probably about 8 years old. Because I remember my dad took me and my brother down to the Walmart. And he bought us both some fishing poles. And they were short ones, and mine was like blue or red. I think it was red. I think his was greener. I don't even remember what colors they were, to be truthful with you, but I know that red's my favorite color, so I know that like more than likely it probably would have been mine. You know what I mean? I remember my dad took us down there, and he used these little, they were like little worms, like little tiny short ones like this with the little fish. And they were green, and we were using those, and he had the little spray, and it smelled, I remember specifically it smelled like licorice. My dad took us down to the park over at Roswell, New Mexico, and I guess over at the park they got like this, it's like a zoo or something. It's like a park and a zoo, and my dad took us down over yonder, and we were over there fishing. And I remember like 2 or 3 people walk by and be like, "Have you caught anything? Is that your fishing rod?" I remember him calling it a fishing rod. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, "Yeah." He's like, "You with your dad?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And then my dad, my dad was over there fishing with us. I think he got him one too. I can't really remember, but I know me and my brother got one for sure. And it was a short day. I remember that I caught one. It was just a little bitty guy, and it was like he wasn't long. He was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like a pancake, fat, or more like round, like a plate, or like a pancake or something, right? And so we fished. My brother didn't catch anything. I caught something. and then we went home. I remember we put it in a bucket. We had it in a bucket, right? And I remember that there was a little bit of water at the bottom of the bucket, and like I remember I put the fish in there, and I kept looking in there. I kept looking inside that bucket, and like trying to see, but he would just lay there, but he wouldn't even flop. He wouldn't flop over. He wouldn't do much. So we were on my dad's blue truck at the time. My dad had a 67. He had a 67 Chevy step side, flare side. He called it a step side. And he put the bucket in the back of the truck, and I remember 1 or 2 times while we were driving, like I remember sitting up and looking in the back seat. You know what I mean? Through the back window over there, trying to see if he was moving. When we got to the house, which I don't know, I mean, I was a kid. It should have been like maybe about a 5 or 10 minute drive. I don't know how long the drive was, but when we got to the house, like I remember I jumped in the back of the truck and I got the bucket, and I remember like my dad said, I was like, can we cook it? He said, you need a special tool to cut the fins off or something. And I was like, oh, but I didn't want to flush them down the toilet, right? So what I did was, like, I remember I went to the backyard and my dad had this wheelbarrow, and I went back there to the wheelbarrow. I went back there to the wheelbarrow, and I put the fish in there, and then I got the water hose and I put some water in there, and I went inside to go watch TV. And later on that day when I came back, the fish was floating. He was just like floating. He wouldn't move. He was just floating. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's one of my memories about my dad. One of my very first memories. I wouldn't even think it was my favorite or my best memory. But I remember one time I had this bad dream, and I remember like I was in my house and me and my dad were doing something. At the time, of course, in the dream, and at that time, we were at Roswell, New Mexico. My dad was from New Mexico. I'm from Texas, baby. I'm born and raised here in Texas, in the great state of Texas. So in the dream, I'm at my house and I'm with my dad and we doing something. And then my dad says, I'll be back. I need to go get something. And he gets up and he leaves. And he leaves the door open because he's going to come back. And I wait and I wait and I wait, and he never comes back. And he never comes back. And then finally, after a long time of waiting, I get up and I go looking for him. And he's not around, and I go around the house and he's not around. And the car is there. At the time, my dad had 5 cars. Looked around and all 5 cars are there. I remember counting all 5 cars in the dream. And then I go inside and go look. I go inside through the whole house and I don't find my dad. And then like I see I look for his keys where they always hang them up, and his keys were up there too. So at that point, of course, I'm a kid, so I start screaming. And I remember specifically, bro, like I was screaming like, Daddy, Daddy. And I was screaming his last name. His first name was Daddy and his last name. And then I would scream his last name. And I'd just be like, Daddy, Daddy. And I remember screaming that. And I remember like running out into the street, into the middle of the street, like going around in circles, just like in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, Daddy, Daddy. Just screaming for my dad. I'm just a little kid in the dream. And then I wake up. And then I wake up and I was just like. And I remember going and walking. At the time, we lived in a trailer house. And I remember like going and walking Like, cause I slept. My room was in the far end of the trailer, and then my dad's room was on the other end of the trailer. And I remember walking all the way in the dark, and I can see like everything's dark, kind of like that blue color, you know, like everything's blue, you know, everything's dark, you know what I mean? And I remember going into the other, and the door was open, and I walked in, and I saw that my dad and my mom were in there, and I remember climbing on top of the bed. I remember climbing on top of the bed and like climbing and like doing this in between so that I could feel my dad. And I remember sleeping with my mom and my dad that night. So that was cool. I remember that's one of the first memories that come to my mind whenever I'm thinking to myself, man, I want to share about my dad with my channel. And yeah. Let me think. Another thing that I remember about my dad was, what do I remember about my dad? I remember my dad was a hard worker. I remember my dad worked hard. He worked real hard. And specifically, I remember there was a time where my dad worked like 30-minute drive. A lot like what most of us do today, even still today right now, right? And I remember that he worked at this restaurant. My dad was a flipper, a thrifter, and a cook. And my dad always had a restaurant, or was cooking somewhere, or was selling something, or reselling something. That's what my dad always did. That was his bread and butter. That's the way he was always out there hustling. He always had at least 2 jobs. And I remember sometimes my dad had this, he would be like this recycling. He would like work at this recycling place. He always got like manager jobs, like recycling at these recycling centers. I guess he had experience doing recycling and stuff, but he always got managerial jobs doing recycling. And so that's a little bit about my dad. Now that Father's Day is coming up, I don't want to get too touchy about it, make myself start crying over here on the live stream talking about my dad, but I loved my dad. My dad worked hard, and to be truthful, he was never around. And I always felt like he was never around. I always felt like I didn't have a dad. And my dad didn't show me sports. He didn't show me much. He was never around. I always felt like I didn't have a dad. So I never had a big brother, and I never had a dad. He was always at work. But I guess in a way, like, kind of prepared me for my lifestyle, like the way I am like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much like single and like a dad. And because my dad knew how to work, and he was always hustling, and like I guess like that's all I know how to do, like I guess in a certain way, you know what I'm saying, like show my kids that I love them by hustling hard for them. Like that's really, I guess, the only way, like the only opportunity that I know how to show my kids how to love them. My dad showed me about God, and now that he's gone, like all I can do is like just keep pushing. I just like, my dad was always there for me when I needed him, but he was never there like to take me out to the park, or to go fishing, or to go hiking, or to go hunting, or we never played sports together. He never taught me about sports. He never taught me about girls. He never taught me about business. He never taught me about money. He never taught me about, he didn't teach me about nothing. The only thing he taught me about was God. All he did was work and teach me about God. So like, at the end of the day, that's literally all I know. I don't know much. I just know a little bit. The little bit about God that I know is from what my dad taught me. But so far it's been enough. Cause like I find myself in the middle of this mental health. Cause like I don't have my kids, you know what I'm saying? That really hurts. Like real tough. Like it hurts real tough. Give me a second, I need a break. Yeah, so my dad taught me about my God, and that's what I use in order to push through whenever like I be having like these mental health episodes. Mental health triggers a lot of times for me gonna be like Christmas time, could be back to school. I really enjoyed being a dad. I really like being a dad. It was fun. It was fun. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. It was the best. It was the best time of my life. Years ago, I used to think that when I was selling dope was the best time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like running the streets, not having no worries, not having no responsibilities, like literally just boatloads and bottomless pits full of money. I used to think that was my favorite time. See, I got different chapters in my life, and the most favorite chapter in my life nowadays is gonna be like whenever whenever I had a family. Like that was my most favorite time, whenever I had a family. So I remember just like getting up as back to school time, or always every morning, like getting up and waking up my kids. And I remember like waking them up, like tapping their pillow, because I didn't want to jolt them out of their sleep. And I'd wake them up, wake up, good morning, papi. And I would just wake them up, good morning, wake them up real soft, just tap the mattress and the pillow, so they could hear me like calling them from the back, from way down yonder in the sleep. They could hear me calling them. And I remember I used to wake them up real softly. Get up, it's time to get ready for school, come on. And I put them in the shower and they'd get all sleepy. I remember that. It was like real fun. Like that was some of the most favorite memories. And I remember picking them up and waiting in line. I remember picking them up at school, after school, and like taking them to the parks. And I remember like always taking them to McDonald's after school. And I remember after school I always take them to go buy snacks. And like, man, I was the best dad. I was a good dad. I was the best dad. But you know what I'm saying? Like all good things must come to an end. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the way it worked out, and it happened, and that's the way it is, and that's what happened. So I be thinking to myself like that was the best time of my life. Whenever I had my kids, whenever I had my family, and those are triggers for me. Like sometimes I like fall into this mental health thing, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I managed that with exercise. As a matter of fact, all last week I wanted to share that too with you guys, because as you guys know, like all last week I was like under immense stress and pressure, and I remember sharing with you guys that I was like doing this whole live stream thing with Mexico versus South Africa, as well as with the tattoo convention, as well as with the orange bus thing in Richardson at Hat Creek. So I had these 3 different live events going on, and like I was really just trying to plan for them inside of my head, and I was just I felt like under immense stress and pressure, and I couldn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't stop. I couldn't give up, bro. Like, I can't give up. There's no such thing as giving up in this thing. And like, I remember all week long, I was just like, dang, this is so hard. This is so hard. This is so hard. But all I could do is just call out my God and just be like, I can do all great things through Christ who strengthens me. That's all I could do. That's all I could do, because I couldn't stop. I didn't regret it. I didn't want to stop. And all I knew is that I had to keep going straight forward. You know what I mean? So it's all I did. I just kept pushing forward into my Lord, pushing forward into God, and also working out. So there's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about, man. Like, all last week, I managed to keep going working out. I was supposed to pay my $200 with regards to my High Rocks entry into the workout, that worldwide event that I was sharing with you guys about. That happens in November. It's called High Rocks. It's a worldwide event coming into Dallas this November. It's supposed to be kind of like this athletic event called almost like an Ironman, right? It's supposed to be pretty cool. It's a whole full body workout. It's supposed to be training your abs, your back, your shoulders, your legs, your posterior chain. Seems really fun, and I decided that I was gonna do it. So all last week and the week before that, I've been training without even paying my $200, my entry fee. And I already got like I haven't even paid my $200 entry fee yet, baby. But, you know, shoot, we'll see how that works out. Anyways, all last week, I was able to be streaming. And all last week, I produced several different events. Went to 3 different events, planned it all out, and I was able to manage my stress with working out. I go to the gym every single day except for Monday and Tuesday, which, by the way, Tuesday was yesterday for me, and so I didn't work out those last 2 days. So, man, well, we already talked about my dad, talked about mental health a little bit, and talked about the High Rocks, me working out. Actually, updates on me working out. I actually injured my shoulder the other day because I got these little skinny spaghetti strings. I was doing the push-ups. I mean, not the push-ups. I was doing the bench press, and while I was going up, I felt like a strain right in here, and I think it should be fine. I think it just got tight. You know what I mean? So that's why I gave it 2 days off. That was Sunday. Today's Wednesday. That's 2 days off already. I'm probably gonna not do much today. I bet I'm gonna do a lot of legs today. And and I'm gonna do going to work out today. So that's how that's gonna work out. Well, gang, I've been talking for about 23 minutes already. It's gonna be a short one today, I guess, is what it's looking like. I ain't got too much to say. I just wanted to share a little bit about my dad, and just talk about my mental health journey a little bit, and talk about managing my mental health. So I just want to encourage you guys that if you guys trying to manage your mental health as well, get in the gym, and it's just gonna help you do that, as well as like just manage like your stress throughout the daily life. So anyways, Jared out of Dallas, come with me tomorrow, same time, same channel, baby, and we'll do this again. Today I want to encourage you guys, if you see somebody out there needing some help, do a little bit extra and just help them out just a little bit extra, go a little bit further, because it ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's gonna make the world a better place. All right, gang, you guys have a good one, stay safe, see you in the next one.